Hey guys, it's Emily. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these 3 moon decoration ideas. Let's get on with the video. The first decoration I'm going to show you how to make is this moon banner. The first thing you want to do is that you want to place a wooden dowel of any size next to the edge of a piece of black fabric. Then you want to move the wooden dowel about a ½ inch off of the fabric so you can see how small you need to make your banner. The size of my wooden dowel is 6 inches. When you have an idea of how big you want your banner to be, you can measure and draw out your banner. I used a white colored pencil to draw the banner, and you want the top of the banner to be smaller than the wooden dowel. The size of my banner is about 6 by 5 inches. After you're done drawing the banner out, you want to cut it out. And if the sides are not even, you can fold the banner in half and trim off the excess fabric to make all the sides even. When you're done cutting out your banner, you can place the wooden dowel next to the top of the banner. Then you want to wrap the top of the banner around the wooden dowel. And you want to glue the top of the banner down with hot glue by lifting up the fabric, and then you want to add a little bit of glue and place the fabric back down in the glue. You want to repeat these steps until you're done, and you also want to do this in sections so you don't mess up. You also want to make sure you are careful because the glue can be hot, and you can use a wooden dowel or something else to press the fabric together so you don't burn yourself. When you're done gluing, you want to flip the banner so you're looking at the front of the banner. And then you want to trace something circular to create a moon. I used a white colored pencil and I traced a circle cookie cutter. After you're done drawing the circle, you want to place the banner on top of a scrap piece of paper, and then you want to paint your moon. You don't want to paint it completely white, you want to leave some black to create craters of the moon. And a way you can create craters is by painting in circular motions. You also want to make it patchy on purpose, so it's not just a white circle. And for areas where you want a lighter white, you want the paintbrush to not have that much paint on it. You can also adapt the paintbrush so the paint doesn't look too harsh. When you're done painting the moon, you want to wait for it to dry. When the paint is dry, you can flip the banner over and glue on some pom-pom trim on the back of the banner with hot glue. The way how you want to do this is that you want to put hot glue on the back bottom edge of the fabric, and then you want to place the pom-pom trim in the glue. You do want to glue the pom-pom trim on in sections so the pom-poms don't get in the glue. If you have cut your banner like mine, you want to cut the strand of pom-poms before going to the other side of the bottom of the banner. And then you want to repeat the same steps on the other side. When you're done, you want to cut off any extra trim off of the sides so it doesn't show on the front. Now you want to take a piece of yarn or whatever you would like and tie one end to one side of the wooden dowel. And then you can tie the other side of the piece of yarn or whatever you use to the other side of the wooden dowel so it can hang on the wall. I used white yarn. All you have to do now is that you want to trim off the extra yarn, but make sure you don't cut it too short or it will come undone. And then you're all done with your moon banner. The next decoration I'm going to show you how to make is this moon photo display. And I'm going to show you how to make the moon first. You want to start off by placing a ball of air-dried clay on top of a piece of parchment paper, and you want to flatten it with your hand. Then you want to place another piece of parchment paper on top of it and roll the clay out. You want the clay to be about a ½ inch in thickness, but you can make the thickness of the moon any size that you want. When you're done rolling it out, you want to take the parchment paper off of the top, and if you need to, you can roll the clay out a little more. Then you want to cut out a circle out of the clay by pressing a circle cookie cutter in the clay. After you're done pressing the cookie cutter in the clay, you want to take the circle out of the cookie cutter and pull off the extra clay. Now to create the crescent moon, you want to take the cookie cutter and you want to place the edge in about the middle of the circle. Then you can take off the extra clay. For the base, you want to put a piece of air-dried clay onto a piece of parchment paper and flatten it with your hand. And then you want to put a piece of parchment paper over it and roll it out. You want the clay to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, but you can make the thickness of the base any size that you want. When you're done rolling it out, you want to take the parchment paper off of the top, and if you need to, you can roll the clay out a little more. Then you want to press a circle cookie cutter in the clay. Then you want to take off the extra clay from the cookie cutter, and you also want to push out the clay from the cookie cutter. After you're done taking the clay out of the cookie cutter, you want to smooth out the edge or the cracks of the base in the moon with water and your finger. Then you can place the base onto a piece of plastic wrap. Before you put the moon on the base, you want to take a piece of wire that measures about 12 inches. Then you want to bend the wire into a spiral. It will be easier to bend the wire with pliers, and you want to make sure there's enough wire to go through the clay. After you're done bending the wire, you should have something like this. You can also put a piece of paper in it to make sure you like it. Now before you start putting it together, you can place the moon on the top of the base to get an idea of how you want the moon to stand on the base. Then you can score the clay, which is where you create lines in 2 different directions where you want the moon to sit on the base and the bottom of the moon with a knife. Then you can put water on the bottom of the moon and where the moon will be sitting, on the base with your finger. Then you can place the moon where it needs to go, and you may need to hold it there for a few seconds to make sure it stays, but it might move a little bit, so make sure you watch it so it doesn't fall over. Once you have the moon on the base, you can carefully push the wire into the top of the moon. And you do want the wire in the base, but make sure you don't push it too far because it will go through to the bottom, which is something that you do not want. If the wire is too long, you can cut it with wire cutters and then you can put it back in the moon. Now before you let it dry, you can clean up any lines or cracks with water and your finger. And if you do see it leaning, make sure you put it back where you want it so it can dry correctly. When you like how it looks, wait for it to dry, and make sure you read the clay's instructions to see how long it will dry. When the clay is dry, you want to take it off of the plastic wrap and put it onto a scrap piece of paper. Then you can paint it. I painted the moon white, even though the clay would dry white. It hid a lot of black specks and other stuff on it. After I was done painting the moon, I painted the base gold and then I waited for it to dry. When the paint is dry, you can start using it. The last decoration I'll show you how to make is this moon tray. The first thing you can do, which is completely optional, is that you can take a piece of scrapbook paper. Once you have your scrapbook paper, you can flip the paper over so you can see the back. Then you want to place it over the top of the wooden tray, and you want to line up the corner of the paper to the corner of the tray. After you line up the corner, you want to mark where the other 3 corners are on the paper with a pencil. When you're done marking where the corners are, you want to connect those 3 corners to create a rectangle. In the 4th corner of the rectangle is the corner you lined up with the tray earlier. Then you want to cut it out, and you may need to trim it so the paper will fit on the bottom of the tray. After you're done cutting out the paper, or if you decided that you didn't want to put anything on the bottom of the tray, you want to paint the tray. I painted it white. If you decided you want to put paper on the bottom, you don't have to paint the bottom, and to save some paint, you can pour it on the tray. When the paint is dry, you want to paint some Mod Podge onto the bottom of the tray. Then you can place the paper on the bottom of the tray. If the paper isn't staying on the bottom, you can put stuff on top of the paper so that it sticks to the tray as it dries. When the bottom is dry, you can make a design on the side of the tray. I put moon phases on mine. What you want to do is that you want to draw as many moon phases as you want on one of the long sides of the tray. You want to start from the middle, and then you want to draw the moons on the sides. I did use washi tape to help me make the moon phases. And I also used a ruler to help me make sure the first moon was in the middle, and to measure the spaces for the other moons. After you're done drawing the moons, you want to paint the moons gold or another color. When the moon phases are dry, you want to erase any of the pencil markings that are showing, or you could try painting over them, and then you're all done. I put a vase and string lights on mine, but you can put whatever you would like on it. Just make sure it can't get hot so it does not light on fire. And that's how you make these moon decoration ideas. In the comments down below, let me know which moon decoration is your favorite, and if you liked this video, subscribe to see more videos. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!